All right, welcome back from break. I think the last thing that we were doing was osmoregulation, and this idea of if you're an organism that's taking up lots of salt in your diet, either because you're drinking seawater like a penguin does, or eating salty foods like a penguin does, that they have this system that works as osmoregulatory, but by its very nature is an excretory system, right? It has elements of excretion in here, okay? So this is a segue into the next group of animals and osmoregulation. Like birds and freshwater, saltwater fish, sorry, it's one of those days. Like birds and saltwater fish, the mammals are also hypoosmotic. The fish have solved the problem in one way. The birds have solved it through this salt gland problem. The mammals, we don't have salt glands, and we can't solve the problem like the freshwater fish can, because our osmoregulatory system is not capable of dealing with all that salt. So for us to just drink seawater like a fish does, it's just not going to work, because at the end of the day we would actually lose more water than we would gain. Because in order to get rid of all those salts we're taking up through seawater, we would actually have to use more water than we got in the seawater itself to get rid of it. And that's a limitation of our system. So the mammals that live in the ocean and feed on organisms in the ocean, I'm thinking seals, dolphins, whales, etc., these mammals are hypoosmotic. They are dealing with an environment that's much more concentrated in terms of salt. They can't drink seawater like fish can, don't have a salt gland, so we need another solution. And these mammals that live in the ocean have an alternative mechanism for generating water. We call it metabolic water, but really what it is it's water that's formed during cellular respiration. That is metabolic water. Anytime we do cell respiration, we make water. We make water as a waste product of the breakdown of carbohydrates. So for a marine mammal, what they do is the act of feeding or burning carbohydrate is going to generate water that can be used to replenish water that's being lost due to other reasons. Okay? Now, the other option is if you're a seal, you can make some decisions about what to eat. If I am not feeling like I've got too much salt, I could eat a sea star, right? It has the same concentration of salt as seawater does. On the other hand, if I'm having trouble with my water balance, I probably should eat a fish, because that's hypoosmotic, which means when I bring the fish into my body, I'm bringing in more water, a higher water to salt ratio than I would get by eating something that is an osmoconformer. Okay? Right? So this idea of metabolic water should be new, and making decisions about what to eat based on your current salt balance. Okay? All right, now, the osmoregulation and excretion. These are two different parts, or two different functions of an excretory system. In the case of this salt gland, I said the osmoregulation and excretion are overlapping, right? I'm excreting the salts out, which is an excretory function, even though it's an osmoregulatory function. What I want to do is just mention a few things about excretion before we move on into excretory systems. And what I want to talk a little bit about is this molecule again, ammonia, that's a nitrogenous waste that's generated as a consequence of the breakdown of proteins and nucleic acids. The thing about ammonia